I had this poofy part on top of my head, so I had to push it down. It's not working. Hello, hello, hello. This is Tom from Tom and Ruth Philippine Adventures. I'm going to do a quick video here. And what made me think about it today was just a couple things going on here in the Philippines. How and can you be deported from the Philippines if you find yourself in trouble here? Yeah, you can. Can you be, I'm here to warn of the guys that's coming here to the Philippines, and the guys already here. What you can do is you have to be really careful. Your actions. You have to be very careful your actions here in the Philippines. You have to be very careful on the words and things that you would say to someone. And you have to be very aware that if you're talking to someone, you don't want to tread on their emotions and things like that. You want to, if they say no or if they say whatever, just agree with it and go on, walk away. Don't get in arguments, don't get in fights. Don't get into things that you really shouldn't get involved in. Because what will happen is, can you get deported? Yes, you can be. Let me tell you a story. Back whenever I went through, I had to go through an interview for my visa to be approved. And the interview guy was talking to me, and he's a really nice guy, and he was telling me and asking me questions such as, have you ever had a problem here in the Philippines? Is how you get along with your neighbors. Are your neighbors nice to you, or do you get along with them? Have you had any problems with them? If they treated you improperly, or have they done something? But you guys understand the questions here, and you'll see as I'm talking the reason why he asked me that in that format. He was coming down to the end to kind of figure it out. And these guys were saying, what he was saying was, are you in good friends with your wife's family? Are you everything okay in the family? Is everything good? You get good relationship with them? Have you had any problems? So really they're trying to figure out if you had any problems, you had any incidents that's maybe happened to you, even though you had to take an NBI before you go to that, but there could have been an incident happened in between that time that he's trying to figure out if they need to run another NBI. Because what will happen is the way the paperwork works here is, if there you have something, and I'll get in detail, if you have something that's happened, it goes into a file, and then it's sent to another place, and eventually it gets to the NBI. Well, in talking with this gentleman on the interview, he told me, he says, we like to interview our foreigners all in detail and figure out if they fit, and if they're okay to stay here, if they can survive in the environment, meaning that are you living like Filipino? Are you going to be? He's trying to make sure you're not going to be on the streets. That's bottom line. You have income. What kind of income you got coming in? Are you stable? Do you have what kind of past do you have? What did you do in your past? He asked me, what did I do in my past? It was I don't know, probably 20 minutes, 25 minutes, maybe a little bit longer because I wasn't timing it. Maybe a little bit longer, but it was like fire. I was saying yes, no, and not going in the extent. No, I have not had any problem. Okay, next question. Are you okay with your neighbors? Yes, I'm fine with my neighbors, no problem. The next question. Have you had a complaint filed against you? No, I don't have. No, not that I'm aware of. Is there, anything you need to tell me? And it's going on and on and on. So it wasn't bad. It was good. It's easy for me. A lot of guys would have taken it a little harder. A lot of guys. The reason why I'm bringing this up today, and the reason why is, yes, you can get deported. If you have a smudge, what they call smudges is when they file a case against you, they put their fingerprint on the paper, and you'll have to do the same thing. Because what is done, he's gonna say his thing in the barangay captain, and you're gonna go down there and you're gonna say your story in the barangay captain, and they're gonna do this, and then if it needs to go to the next level, they'll take it next level if they can't negotiate what's going on between the two parties. And you have to be careful what you say here. You have to be careful on your words here. And don't think that you don't there's a new law out that you cannot whistle at the girls. You can't say derogatory terms toward them. You can't say derogatory terms to anybody. Even if you feel like you're being mistreated, the best thing to do is walk away. If you get in situations, walk away from the situation. Don't get involved in somebody else's business when you really don't need to be involved in it. Mind your own business, basically. Because there's a gentleman that got a case brought against him, an American, got a case brought against him. He was, this story is a couple months old. He was actually, got an argument with a gentleman. They were drinking at a bar. He got an argument with a gentleman. The gentleman got mad, and then I guess went outside and they got into a fight, and then not really a fight, but a pushing match, and one thing led to another. So the Filipino put a case against this American. This American decided that okay, I'll leave. I am so sorry. You know, I'm gone. I'm not going to get involved in this, because he realized what would happen, because he already had the same thing taught to him. Do not get a smudge. Do not get in trouble. You get in trouble. Well, what happened? The guy brought a case against him, and he was on a 13A visa. This guy, and when they brought the case against him, he went down and they eventually negotiated it, and this, that, and the other. And the guy, he says, "I'm sorry. I'm so sorry for my actions. Maybe I drank too much." And the Filipino was very angry. He stayed angry, wanted more, wanted money. And he ended up paying him $1,000 to get that resolved. You know, because I'm hurt and I'm not able to move around because you pushed me hard on my side and things like that. So the gentleman said, okay, no worries. But when he went to go renew his visa in January, the office was aware of it. And apparently he got pinged. And I call it pinging, but there's another terminology for it, where they actually run, because sometimes after the 5-year period, you have to go get another NBI. You have to do a couple of things to just resubmit this, that, and other. But apparently he got pinged, and they asked him to leave the country. So he had to leave the country. He was in good standing, no problems with the visa, but had a smudge on his hand. The interviewer told me exactly the same thing. Do not get in a quarrel. Do not get in an argument. Do not do anything. If you have a smudge against you, you can and will be deported. Can it happen? Yes, it can. If a guy is telling me it can happen when he's interviewing me, really nice guy. I mean, we got along really well. He's just informing me, be very careful what you do. You're not in Kansas anymore. He didn't say that, but that's what I'm thinking in my mind. I'm not in Kansas anymore. That you have to really be prepared. Do not be mean to your Filipina. Do not strike your Filipina. He said, and he's telling me, I said, well, I don't strike mine. She don't do anything wrong. She's sweet as gold, and I'm sweet to her. He goes, I know you guys are. You're a great couple. But he said, I'm just saying to people that I interview. He said, I just got back. He's from Manila. He goes up, flies all over and interviews foreigners. And he sets them straight. He just basically tells you, do not get in trouble. Do not do anything wrong. Because if you do that, you can be deported. And so what happens is, with that is, deportation, what that means is, they might catch you that week, that month, but they'll catch you a year or another year down the road, and they'll pick you up and put you in jail. And what they did with him was, they took him to jail. And he got out after he paid a fee or fine, and he got out, and U.S. Embassy got involved. They notified U.S. Embassy they had him in custody, and U.S. Embassy came in, escorted him, and told him, listen, we're going to have to seize your passport, and we're going to send you back to the United States of America. Can you pay for the airline ticket? Yes, I can. Okay. So we're going to take you up to Manila. We're going to fly you up to Manila, and you had to pay for that yourself, and you got to leave the country. And he's blacklisted for 10 years. So he can't come back here for 10 years. So, and he was in good standing. He just went down. He wasn't a normal guy to go down to the pub and drink every day, but he was a guy that just realized that he just wanted to go and have a couple of drinks, and what had happened, and one argument led to another, I guess, at the bar. and it was all on a sports thing. You know, they had some bet on a game, a soccer game or something, and one thing led to another, and some feelings were hurt. So you really do have to be careful. And also, I do want to say this: don't put yourself in an environment where, do not, honestly, to be honest, if you're going to drink, go to a bar that's, you have other foreigners there to the bar. Don't go to drink at a Filipino's house. Don't be drinking at home with the family and friends. Stay away from drinking with family and friends, and because it can get nasty. It can get nasty really fast. I'm not going to tell you how many stories that I've heard where guys gotten hurt because he's drinking, he's there, and they want more tanduay, and they know he has money, and one leads to another, and it can get violent really fast. Here, it can get really violent really fast. It's not like going down, so you go down to Tijuana, and you're down there and you drink a couple of beers, this, that, and other. It's not like that. It's here. It's different. It's a different world, different environment. I mean, you're in an area where the guy's making 300, 400, 500 peso a day, and he sees you whip out 1,000 peso to go buy tanduay for everybody, and you may see another 1,000 in there, and one thing leads to another. They never forget. Filipino are very smart, and you have to just be aware of what's going on in your life. Be aware of the surroundings, and yes, you can. And he made it clear to me, yes, you can be deported. So I walk on pins and needles, just making sure that everybody's okay. I just keep my mouth shut. I don't say anything to anybody. I stay to myself. I don't. I'm not someone that walks up and I may ask for directions, things like that. But I don't start conversations with someone, even if they may speak English. I'm not a type of person here, because I've learned my lesson in certain situations that we've been in, especially mountain ranges and things like that. It's best to keep your mouth shut, because I could say a joke, a sarcastic American joke, and it could be counted as a bad thing, and somebody could get really angry with you. So you have to be really careful what you do. People say, don't worry about it. Well, you know what? Those people are not here anymore. they're gone. They're in another country, in Thailand or Cambodia or Bali, Laos, Vietnam, Russia, Africa. One guy left here and went to Africa. I guarantee he says it's a beautiful place there in Africa. He went to Africa. He's living there now, named Jerry. So there is things that you really don't realize that what happens when you do your actions like that. And I wanted to talk about that today. So thank you guys so much for always watching our videos. God bless.